Hi friend, this is Dr. Apurv Mehra and with me is Dr. Abhinav Jogani. When I speak Dr. Abhinav Jogani is a name, there's a little history behind it. And this is a dream for every teacher in the world. And I am being one of them. Every teacher is a student of medical science, and we all have a role to play in this world. The most important role which I feel that God has granted me is to pass the baton. So if I look back at the history, how things started, there was a lecture called as Ortho Dhoom Dhadaka ODD, which was at that time in Nagpur, and you have a bright guy sitting right in the front, Abhinav into it, and subsequently Abhinav cracks All India with a rank of 272.
Yes, sir.
So I still
Absolutely.
has saved his name with Abhinav rank 272 because getting a rank of 272 in NEET of a student through your program is not a moment of your contribution to his career, but it just shows that the student had the strength and the mettle to do it. And Abhinav was about to come and join Delhi, got a Delhi college, but then God had different destiny. He was being planned to do MS orthopedics from the best, yes, the best college for the subject, KEM Mumbai. When we thought of conceptual orthopedics, his career and the building of conceptual orthopedics, they were going hand in glove. They were going together, walking shoulder to shoulder. And when we started working on conceptual orthopedics, I still remember Abhinav and Piyush, two guys stayed in Delhi and worked behind the scene. Most of the good things in the world, right, belong to thankless works. They are never appreciated. Like the role of a producer and a director in any movie is never recognized, and the people who are recognized are the people in front. The glory of teachers is different, but people who have worked on building it, conceptual orthopedics, are much stronger, and they are the backbones. And Abhinav and Piyush are absolute backbone who trusted us when there was nothing to trust, who was starting building. कहते हैं नींव रखी थी इन्होंने. The lantern of this building was laid down. And look at where conceptual orthopedics is today, not only in one region of the country, but throughout the world. Abhinav Jogani has worked selfless for it, but then yes, being an orthopedic surgeon, a surgeon, getting married, becoming a proud parent required time. But look, if your roots are aligned and if your focus is same, you return back to your base. That is what Dhurandhar 2 also says with a song called as Fir Se, when he walks back with the tears in the eyes. And this is what he has come. But I always believe the role of the next generation is take you a notch higher. You climb a mountain not to climb a mountain. You climb a mountain to see which is the next peak to climb. What I believe is if aeroplane was initially thought of by Wright brothers, they were written away in history that we will not be going by flights because it's going to crash. But then people do fly every day, right? When we spoke about a simple invention in this world called as a bulb, it increased the working hours of man. And today, the bulb in the planes is AI. So Abhinav Jogani has come back to build up a section in conceptual orthopedics, and I think that can be replicated in every branch of conceptual, eConceptual, to talk about, right, AI. So the first question is, right, why do you think that a resident of orthopedics and young budding consultants of orthopedics need to know AI? Abhinav.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. I think there is always a moment in your life. In my to PG preparations, I was quite not sure as to which branch or how to go about deciding a career. One day, one class, ODD. That was the day I was very sure in my life I want to be an orthopedic surgeon, and I purely owe it to sir that he has introduced me to this beautiful world of orthopedics. And God was very kind that I was throughout my journey, I have been in association with sir somehow or the other. Like sir has mentioned, there was some gap in the between which I was not able to contribute completely, but always, my heart lies with conceptual. So coming back to the question, I think artificial intelligence today is the internet era of human civilization. There was a time when people actually physically search books for articles in the library.
True.
And it was an hour's job. The moment the internet came in, suddenly we had almost cut down our research time to probably 1/10 or less than 1%. So that is the moment that today we are standing at the cusp of something that is so huge that even we still have not utilized its complete potential. So artificial intelligence, in my idea, so what residents or what new consultants probably perceive AI is, probably it is some kind of a terminator or some kind of mechanical technical jargon that is going to be really complex, or something that is only for computer coders or something like that. But I personally have tried to really dive deep into artificial intelligence and understand basic difference, sir. Why the AI was always there. So when you were using your WhatsApp, when it was predicting text, when you were having Gmail, sort your emails from normal to spam, that was AI working in the background. Today, why AI has come to the forefront is because earlier, to speak to a computer, you had to know code language, and that was only the job of software engineers. What has changed is now AI can speak in human language. I can tell AI do this simply by typing a prompt which is as simple as a simple grammatical sentence. This is the moment which has really changed. Now we can ask AI to do a complex job of analyzing a PDF of 500 pages from Campbell, taking out the salient points and giving us a structured, bulleted presentation in less than a couple of minutes, which would otherwise take you around, say, probably 2 days or maybe more than that. So artificial intelligence primarily is augmenting the surgeon to spend more time on what he's meant to do, that is healing. AI will take over the clerical part, the paperwork handling, the heavy lifting will be done, and the surgeon who is augmented with AI can really work on focusing on his clinical skills.
All right. So basically, a 14-hour train journey, a 7-day bullock cart journey between Delhi to Mumbai will be converted to 1 hour 40 minutes of a flight journey.
Absolutely.
That's how you can summarize that. Not only this, he has answered my second question also, that what will it do? It will make human beings more efficient. If you have watched this simple movie called as Three Idiots, where a question was asked to the class, right, what's a machine? And the answer was very simple, right? It makes the human effort easier and less. This is what AI would do to medical science. Look, being a student of science and being a surgeon, you're always short of time, right? You struggle with this question in your family, with your personal partners, that तुम्हारे पास time नहीं है. This AI will help you create a life-work balance. This will try you to understand the focus, the buzzwords of a topic which you need to remember if you're asked as a viva or a theory or a practical tip. Being into a surgical field, when I was doing surgery, I was taught two things. One, your knowledge should be sufficient to operate a case. कम नहीं होना चाहिए, इतना होना चाहिए you can operate easy. Number two, learn when not to operate. If you learn these two secrets, you will always survive well in a surgical branch. When I look at what AI can do to you, AI will make it more efficient. It can tell you that what you need to know when you're operating. But second thing, you have to be wise enough to understand, because there has to be a balance. You know, the tools in the hand of a monkey is going to destroy the things. So the tools have to be properly utilized. So you have told me the first question, right? Why? What it will do. The third question is your lectures going to answer. But can you tell, Abhinav, how you will teach the students and residents? What's your modus operandi in Conceptual to teach residents how to use AI? Yeah.
So when people start searching for AI, somebody who's curious about AI, when he goes out to the internet and opens up the Google search, there are probably 10,000 tools available in the market. If you try and understand one of them each day, it's going to take you years to master them. So there was a one very, very famous quote by Bruce Lee: "I do not fear the person who has tried 10,000 moves one time. I'm really fearful of someone who knows the same move 10,000 times."
Right.
So my whole sole focus will be to help you master only a single tool, one particular armamentarium in your. It will be like a digital scalpel for you. It's going to be sharp. It's going to be precise. It's going to help you clear the fluff and utilize it very efficiently. So how we're going to plan it is, we're going to plan it as per the stage as a journey of your residency progresses. So we're going to see how a JR1, who's very heavily involved in ward work, in basic learning the first few surgeries, how he's going to utilize Notebook LM to cut down the time of learning and yet remain as efficient as he wants to be. A JR2 probably has more grand round presentations. He's got thesis compiling of protocols. He's got to understand the approaches and the post of protocols. AI, with the help of Notebook LM specifically, is going to really help you sort through it very quickly. Coming to JR3, probably everybody in third year starts thinking about the final ultimate frontier, that is MS Ortho final exams. How are you going to present about that? There are going to be podium presentations where you have to really get grilled by judges on national platforms. So how Notebook LM can work as a reverse engineering, you can ask questions or you can get asked questions from it. So how you're going to do that, there will be demos of how you're going to do that. And once you are a fresh pass out SR, you've got a lot of other responsibilities that involve teaching. Like you have to prepare quizzes, or you have to prepare talks for your juniors. You have to have protocols, definition of institution, like how to go about the algorithm of a massive irreparable rotator cuff tear. Or probably you have to, there's some very new flashy paper in the market, but you have to be a critical analyst and understand whether it is actually applicable in the real life or not. So all those things with live demos and very simple, easy to use steps, so that you can go down tonight, open the internet and start using AI efficiently. That's how the target and the journey is going to be. At the end, I'm going to give a very distilled, curated prompt cheat sheet. Is going to have simple prompts that you can put and you can start utilizing it immediately from day one. So that's the idea behind the lecture series.
Not only the lectures will be there in the app, there'll be live interaction of the students with Dr. Abhinav from live sessions sitting at home, where you people can come out after listening to his lectures and clear your doubts. Abhinav would be holding your hands to guide you through. So Abhinav, my summary is, you'll be teaching them better theory,
Yes.
clinical examination,
Yes.
and helping them in surgical skills.
Absolutely.
The three things which every surgeon needs to do. So I'm really happy and thrilled that the circle of education is going to become bigger now. And trust me, new tool requires more hard work, but results to you spiraling on to a higher level. So you are becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about becoming better than anybody else. I always say that your today should be better than your yesterday, then your tomorrow is going to become better. Don't think about that this is something going to make you score over others. This is going to get you evolving into a better person, and most importantly, becoming more efficient so that you can enjoy life along with studying the beautiful subject of orthopedics. But as I told, this will go to every branch of eConceptual. Welcome and thank you, Abhinav.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.